Hey everybody, it's Matt from endsickness.org. Today I'm going to be talking about how to perform a liver flush properly. Initially, I'm going to talk about why you would even want to do a liver flush. Then I'll discuss the Hulda Clark original protocol, how you start off with no fats or liquids that day. You drink the Epsom salt drink, the olive oil lemon juice mix, lay on your right side, focus on deep breathing. I'll go through all that step by step. And then I will talk about what you do the next day after the liver flush as well. And then lastly, I'll discuss future flushes. How many flushes do you have to do? You know, why is this so important, etc. So first of all, let's talk about why do a liver flush, okay? So liver flushes are critical when people have chronic health conditions because in most cases what's happened is people have not digested cholesterol or animal fats properly over an extended period of time. These undigested fats form into stones, okay? And these stones back up the biliary tract in the liver and they stop it from functioning properly. And this is very, very critical to fix if you want to be able to get over this condition because it compromises your ability to detoxify, it compromises your ability to break down fats properly, proteins properly, and it provides the perfect environment for infection to go ahead and thrive in that liver gallbladder area if you got all these stones. So let's start with the Hulda Clark original protocol, okay? So the Hulda Clark original protocol was designed, 15 years ago or so. I started with her original protocol, which was the steps I'll go through right here. There's a bunch of other ones that she came out with, I guess, since then. I haven't used those since. I think they're a little bit more conservative than this, but this is what I felt produced the best effects for me, okay? So, first of all, here's the steps for the protocol. Initially, when you start off in the morning, all right, you can eat fruit, you can eat vegetables, but you don't want to have any supplements, you don't want to have anything besides just food, okay? You would do no fat at all until 2 p.m., all right? So you could be eating cucumbers, apples, whatever you want. If you'd like to, you can drink apple juice, apple cider the few days beforehand. That contains malic acid. That decreases the size of the gallstones, helps them to be able to be removed easier. So no fat in the morning, no fat that whole day. Then after 2 p.m. you can't drink any liquids except for this Epsom salt drinks, okay? So don't drink any liquid after 2 p.m. If you'd like to, the days before you could do the apple cider. It may help it work a little bit better. I think I used it most of the time. But key to not drink liquids after 2 p.m. Otherwise you'll get very nauseous when you drink the olive oil mixture, okay? The Epsom salt drinks, what you do, you start at 6 p.m. You create 16 ounces of Epsom salt liquid, and you put 4 tablespoons of Epsom salts in there. Ideally, you could put it in a microwave or you could heat it up. Probably best to heat it up. Microwaves aren't good for anything. But you heat it up, drink it warm. You drink 8 ounces of it at 6 o'clock and 8 ounces at 8 o'clock, okay? You will notice within an hour or two that you're starting to go to the bathroom. Lots of liquid comes out of you. The magnesium, what it does is it liquefies the waste that's in your intestinal system, and if you have some built up stool or anything in there, it'll start flushing out like crazy. You may go to the bathroom 8-10 times before you actually even do the liver flush. And this is critical though, because you don't want your small intestine to be backed up with waste or you're going to feel really sick when you flush out all this stuff from the liver and you got this oil sitting there, etc., right? So Epsom salt drinks are critical because it flushes out the small intestinal system, but also it helps to dilate the biliary duct. Biliary duct may be like this. You take the magnesium, it may end up getting a little bit bigger. The more dilated your biliary duct is, the higher probability you have that you're going to be able to flush out these stones, because the stones won't get out if they're bigger than the biliary duct is wide, right? So that's the idea, softening the stones, reducing the size of the stones with the apple cider days beforehand, and taking the Epsom salt drinks so that you can get these out. The olive oil lemon juice mixture you should be drinking about 10 or 10:30 at night. That's 2 or 2.5 hours after your last Epsom salt mixture. What you do is you mix 4 to 5 ounces roughly of olive oil with lemon juice. I usually would drink the olive oil and then the lemon juice and chase it with the lemon juice, olive oil, lemon juice, until it was all gone, the olive oil specifically. There's no real amount of lemon juice you have to drink. It's really just kind of like about chasing the olive oil with the lemon juice. And I use just natural lemon juice, not stuff that's got preservatives in it, that's bottom shelf stuff, organic lemon juice, good stuff. Olive oil, same thing. Use good quality olive oil. that will go a long way in terms of taste and your results. After you drink the olive oil lemon juice mixture, you lay on your right side immediately in fetal position, okay, with your legs up. The idea is that then that allows the oil to start making the gallbladder start to push out all the bile, okay? When you don't have fat early for that whole day, and then all of a sudden you have lots of fat, what happens over the day is you build up bile in the gallbladder over the course of time. Since you're not eating fat, but you're eating food, your bile builds, and then you drink the olive oil, and it all comes out. And the bile release is so aggressive that it flushes out stones along with it, okay? When you lay on your right-hand side, you also got to focus on deep breathing, okay? You will notice that under your right rib cage, you might feel it twitching a little bit and kind of moving, and got to take deep breaths. You got to let it try to work its way out of you. You got to focus on visualizing these stones leaving you and your liver and gallbladder being healed and being much better and being able to function properly, and just be thankful for the results before they even occur, you know. Then you do your best to lay in that position the whole night when you're sleeping, ideally for at least 4 to 6 hours or so. When you wake up in the morning, you go straight to the bathroom and you look in the toilet. If you go to the bathroom right away, you just look for the stones that be floating on the surface of the toilet. And if you don't go to the bathroom right away, eat an apple, couple apples, you know, drink water. Even some places tell you to do another Epsom salt in the morning to flush everything out. I never really was a big fan of it because it tastes horrible, but I figured that if it's already flushed out of your liver and gallbladder in the morning, you don't need more Epsom salt. You just need to start eating something to help get rid of it. So sometimes you'll just flush these stones right into the toilet, you know, and you'll see a bunch of them. Sometimes you'll see them mixed in with stool. My first flush I ever did, I must have saw 40 plus stones that were like this big that came out of me. They were all sitting floating in the top of the toilet. They were different colors of green. Usually the darker the green is for this stone, the longer it's been there. So you just examine the next day how many stones come out in your stool or when you go to the bathroom, and that will help you determine how much success you have with the flush. You know, initially when I started doing the flush, it was like I said, 40 stones, and it was 15, 20 stones. The stones got smaller, they got lighter color over time. Initially they were much darker and bigger. So important to pay attention the next day to determine how much progress you made with that flush, how many more flushes you need to do, etc. Future flushes. So how many flushes do you even need to do, right? Depends on the person and their health condition. I did 20, 25 at least. I felt like after 15 or so, it was much less progress from them. But if I didn't do those 15, 20 liver flushes, I don't know if I'd be sitting here talking to you about how healthy I am and how important this was, you know, and how much of a difference it made, you know, because after the first one, I noticed that my sensitivities to environmental cues like smells and stuff got much, much better. I felt clear in my head. I felt lighter. I was digesting food better, digesting fats better, the heavier foods better, proteins, etc. The more flushes I did, the better I tolerated foods, smells, etc. And like I said, eventually I did up to 25 flushes or so, and now I do one maybe once a year or so, just as a maintenance. So summary of key points: why do a liver flush? Cholesterol gets built up in the liver and gallbladder. It's a perfect place for parasites to be able to thrive. Perfect situation for someone who has detoxification impairment already to make it much, much worse. Compromises the liver's function, compromises the function of the gallbladder, prohibits it from releasing sufficient bile, which is key for breaking down fats, etc. Hulda Clark original protocol was the way to go, the only one that I used. You follow the steps that I mentioned here, step by step. This is what worked best for me. The next day process, pretty simple. Just go to the bathroom, see what happens, see how many stones you got in there. If you can't go to the bathroom, use the Epsom salt again, or just eat apples until you go to the bathroom. You may see the stones by themselves floating in the toilet, or they may be within the stool. And you may even see worms in the stones. I've seen a couple as well, for me, in the stones. So that's really everything I want to discuss in this video. If you have questions about the liver flush and how to do it properly, feel free to reach out to me on endsickness.org. or you could put questions in the comments on YouTube. I'd be happy to answer them. Please note, this is not meant to be medical advice in any way, shape, or form. This is for educational purposes only. This is based on my experiences of my clients, what I've seen online. This is not something I have been, it's not something that that is unique. The success is unique to me. There's lots of people online. If you type in liver flush, you'll see all the picture of people's stones that came out of them. And there's lots of testimonies as to how much benefit they received from doing this. So once again, if you have questions, reach out. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. Take care.